Joseph. It's a revocation case. His DOC number is 478260. Here in support is his mother, Miss Cheryl Joseph. She'll be speaking on his behalf this morning.
All right, Mr. Joseph, please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
My name is Todd Joseph, DOC number 478260.
All right, Todd, my name is Brennan, Mr. Jones, Ms. Wise. We're here for a parole revocation hearing. Do you have a copy of your parole revocation questionnaire in front of you?
I remember it offhand. I don't have it with me, but I do remember everything that's on it.
You remembered and you signed the bottom of it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, for the record, he signed the bottom of his parole revocation questionnaire. Can you read and write?
Yes, sir.
So you're not eligible for county council. Didn't have it at the preliminary hearing. All right, I'll read some charges to you. You'll say guilty, not guilty, guilty with a statement, or not guilty with a statement. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Todd Joseph Jr., DOC number 478260. Rule number 3. Subjects submitted 2 separate addresses that were confirmed with the residents of the address that the subject was not residing in. The subject was asked by agent on multiple occasions if he had gone to Texas. Subject repeatedly denied being in Texas on each location. Subject was told to meet on several occasions but did not show up. Subject could not be located in a flash warrant was requested on 11/26/2019. Subject was arrested in Texas, had no permission from the officer to be in Texas. Subject failed to provide valid address for absconding from the state of Louisiana without permission, further misdirecting his officer on whereabouts. Subject was arrested by Harris County. That's rule number 3. First one, how do you plead?
Guilty with a statement.
Okay, guilty with a statement. Number 4, subject was arrested by Harris County Sheriff's Department, Texas, and was convicted of evading arrest, detention, Harris County Criminal Court on 3/13/2020, and assault of a family member on 6/8/2020. How do you plead?
Guilty with a statement.
Guilty with a statement. Number 7, subject was asked on several occasions if he had traveled to Texas without permission. Subject lied to his officer about his whereabouts and his address. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Not guilty, all right. And subject failed to provide a valid address and absconded the state of Louisiana without permission. Visit searches of the resident's property could not be assessed. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
What'd you say?
Not guilty, sir.
Not guilty. Okay. All right, so talk to me about the first 2 that you give me some statements. You pled guilty to the first 2 rules for the statement. Give me the statement.
Okay, well, first I completed my interstate compact. I did an interstate compact with my parole officer to transfer my parole to Texas. And my parole officer told me that it takes up to 30 to 45 days. And I talked to him several times. I explained to him, I said, Mr. Fagu, I'm having a hard time having a stable address. Not that I didn't give him an address, but it wasn't stable. I told him that. And it's like he wasn't taking consideration that I don't have nowhere to go at the time. I don't have nowhere to go. So I waited for like about 30 days. It took, he said, 30 to 45 days. I waited for about 30 days. I have 4 children that stays in Texas with a 27-year-old girl. That's my children is full between the age of 1 and 7. I mean, I didn't have nowhere to go. My mama could tell you, I mean, she advised me to come to Texas because she didn't want to see me get killed or nothing out there, because they got a lot going on in St. John Parish, and being homeless, just roaming on the street, don't have nowhere to go. Something could have happened to you. So what I did was I waited for 30 days and I left and went to Texas. Due to that, I never ever miss a visit. I never miss a visit. I never miss no reports. You can see number 2, he got on the list. I never miss a monthly report. I never had a technical violation. I never even had an issue with my parole officer with an address. Due to this time came, that's when I had this the person who I was staying with, it didn't really work out for me. That's when the miss came up with having an issue with my parole officer. Other than that, me and my parole, I've been on parole since July 25th, 2017. Never been in a violation, never had a technical violation, never had an issue with my parole officer, never missed a month going to see him. And he didn't understand that I didn't have nowhere to go. He didn't understand. I mean, I couldn't. I do understand on parole you have to have an address for you to on your parole. I do understand that, but it was hard. I didn't have nowhere to go, and I didn't have all my family, my brothers, my sister, my mom, my girlfriend, and my 4 children. All of them moved to Texas, and I didn't have anywhere to go.
So you gave him the address in Louisiana when you went on parole?
Yes, sir.
And that address was good for a while. You said how long you been out?
I've been out since July 25th, 2017.
Okay, so you had that residence. Obviously, it was fine for a long time.
And
So,
it did work out for me. It really was, to be honest with you, it was my ex-girlfriend. She didn't really want me staying there because she already knew I was trying to get my parole transfer to Texas to go be with my other girlfriend and my 4 children.
I get that. You got a lot of girlfriends involved. That gets a little tricky. Here's the deal. If you had, 2017, you were out for a while and you knew this was going to be a problem. You weren't making plans to try to get this done. It just all happened at the end here. I mean,
no, it
didn't have
really,
time to get it taken care of?
No, it didn't really happen at the end. It was that I was the girl who I was staying with, she put an unauthorized use of a motor vehicle charge on me, which had led me in jail for almost 10 months. I did dismiss that case. I got out. So, and the parole board lift my warrant. So when I got back out again, I tried to do it again with the same girl, because that really is basically all my family gone. I don't have no family in Louisiana right now. And she was like one of the only ones I really could have called on at the time for the stay somewhere. So when I try to use her address again, before I get into it with the law, I used to call my parole officer because he had a direct connect on me, a phone number. I used to call him, telling him that it's not working out here. You know.
So your baby mama at the time when you got out of jail, you weren't with her. You weren't talking to her. She was in Louisiana, but you didn't want to go there. You went with your girlfriend. Is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't just leave. I was waiting.
I know. I'm asking. I'm saying when you got out, you got your residence with the girlfriend, not the baby mama, right?
Yes, sir.
And the baby mama was in Louisiana at the time. Was that right?
Yes, sir.
And then the baby mama left and went to Texas. And you stuck with your girlfriend.
Listen, both of them is my baby mama, but the one I'm in a relationship with, she moved to Texas.
I got you. But at the time, you weren't in a relationship with her when you got out of jail.
No, right? I was in a relationship with her, but I couldn't leave to go to Texas until I'm
talking about when you got out of jail.
Yes, sir. I was in a relationship. I was in a relationship with her, but due to the fact my ex-girlfriend didn't mind me staying with her because I just got out of jail. She didn't mind.
That's you're setting yourself up for some bad stuff there. Tell me, were you arrested by the Harris County Sheriff's Department in Texas?
Yes, sir.
And you were arrested for what?
Assault on a family member.
Okay, well, that's a problem in itself. Okay, I have no further questions. I'm gonna let Mr. Jones talk to you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Joseph, what is the status of the interstate compact to Texas?
The status is it takes up to 30 to 45 days to be approved. And once
you told us that, and that apparently was months ago.
I've been in jail the whole time. Excuse me?
The interstate compact process could be going forward. Has it been approved by Texas yet? Have you been accepted?
Well, when I was arrested in Texas and when I was being released, they told me it was accepted because I had an interstate compact on me when I was getting transferred back to Louisiana, and it was saying like it had been when I was arrested in Texas, like Texas was going to deal with my parole hearing when I was arrested on the assault on a family member, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to. It came up. I thought I wouldn't even coming back to Louisiana because they told me my parole was transferred to Texas. But like I said, my parole officer told me that it takes up to 30 to 45 days, which I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't have nowhere to stay. So I did left after about 30 days. I'm gonna be honest, you know.
Well, yeah.
I didn't have anywhere to go, you know. And all my children needed my support. I was working. I had a job. I was driving a forklift and everything. I was doing real good when I got to Texas. You know, it's just that I mean, I made a wrong decision at the time because I do know I shouldn't have left. You know, I do understand that, you know. And I apologize to that. And I didn't mean to do it to get myself in no trouble. I mean, I didn't have anywhere to go. It was hard for me.
The assault on the family member in Texas, that was a wrong decision too?
Well, I talked to this lady, her name is, I don't know if you're aware about her. Her name is Miss Jennifer. She works at the parole board. Well, I didn't talk to her. I had my mother to call her because state of Texas, well, the girls, my ex-girlfriend, she's supposed to be on the hearing. I'm surprised why she's not here on the hearing. But Miss Jennifer told me that if the people drop my charge to a misdemeanor, I would have be okay. But I was.
That wasn't the question, Mr. Joseph.
Yes,
that
sir.
wasn't even close to the question I was asking. The question was, the assault on a family member in Texas, was that just a bad decision you made, another bad decision?
Well, I really didn't commit a crime, sir.
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. It was a statement made on me, and it was the case, like I said, the case was supposed to be dismissed. It didn't get dismissed. I just pleaded guilty.
Who was the family member you were supposed to have assaulted?
My ex.
Where does she live?
She lives in Texas, sir.
That's all the questions I have.
Mr. Parole.
Mr. Joseph, you know you sound confusing to us. And I know you're trying to put yourself in a good light, but what we were asking is, when probation parole came and served you the paperwork in Louisiana, did the officer happen to mention what is the current status of your compact? If you're successful today and you're continued on parole, would you be able to immediately transfer to Texas, or would they have to start the process over? Do you know the answer to that question?
Well, no, man, I really don't, because
That's fine. That's it. You don't know the answer to that question, and that's fine. And I do want you to understand, and you got to understand this. The rules of compact are beyond me and you.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
the rules of compact, the officer was not being hard on you.
Yes, ma'am.
It's just the rules. You have to stay for 45 days until you accept it and give a reporting instructions before you can go.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
not that the officer was being hard. It's just if they find out you were there, they're gonna automatically deny your application and you have to start over.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
If you
ma'am.
had family there, they could have been paying for you a hotel room or giving somebody. You just have to work it out. You just have to work it out until you get transferred and get due permission with what's called reporting instructions. So I just want you to know that's just the rules.
Yes, ma'am. That's
And you're not, and you're bouncing in between these ladies and you're not, thinking forward enough in the head. You're not even thinking 45 days in the head. Now, if I voted today to not revoke you and that the compact be completed for you to go to Texas, where could you stay until the compact is accepted?
I can stay by my brother.
Your brother where?
He stays in, or you mean in here, out here, or in Texas?
Well, what do you think I mean?
In Louisiana.
Okay.
In Louisiana.
Yeah.
So I can stay by my uncle. My mama has the address right now, offhand, right now for y'all.
Okay.
If y'all need it. I
So
have
you
his
think
address.
that your mother, your girlfriend, or somebody could give your uncle a little change every month to let you stay there? Or should be about more than 1.5 months so you get your compact done?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see what I'm talking about now? Do you understand
Yes,
what I'm talking about?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So you were extradited back to Louisiana. So when we paid good money for you to be transported back to Louisiana, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That generally costs about $300 that Louisiana had to pay to get you back.
Okay.
Because you left early.
Okay.
Before you had permission.
I really apologize. I'm sorry for that.
And that's all I had. That's all I had, Chair.
Ms. Joseph, would you like to make a statement? Take you off of mute.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
I was listening on the meeting, and some things he was missing. I guess because he was nervous, and I'm looking at him, and he looked like he was nervous. But some things, which like y'all was asking him about the girlfriend. The girlfriend had put a fake charge on him. He was pulled over by the officer because he had a light without on the car, and he didn't even know the girl had put a charge on him because he was still living with her. He was still by her, and she still didn't tell him she put a charge on him. So when the officer pulled him over, that's when he knew the girl had them put a charge on him. And this been going on from Louisiana with the same girl. This been going on, and it's time for it to stop. And I told him that.
Ma'am, on his parole verification, that charge is not listed as one of the allegations. So let's move on past that. That is not one of his parole allegations of violation.
But I was just telling y'all the reason why that he was arrested in Texas. That was the reason why. But I understand what you're saying, ma'am. But yes, he have an address. I talked to my brother, and I asked my brother, can he stay there until his transfer get approved, and he said it was okay. So I have an address.
All right. All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Todd, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
No, sir, thank you.
Todd J. All right, is the panel prepared to vote?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
I'd like to make a motion for a brief executive session.
I
So
second.
Understand something.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Kelsey,
Yes.
Mr. Jones,
Yes.
Ms. Wise,
Yes.
We'll be.
They said they wasn't even wrong with that. They weren't about to hurt my wife.
Good idea to tell them to stop talking. Maybe to put them on mute. Guys, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty confused as well. This is this is definitely an interesting revocation hearing, but we'll skip forward on this. Now to be almost a 10-minute wait, which is very long. Very long. Let's see what they come up with.
All right, I think we're all back in. Can everybody hear us?
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. Is the panel prepared to vote?
Yes.
Yes. I'll go ahead and
Yes.
vote first again. Listen, we heard all your cases. We discussed it. We went over it at length. But at the end of the day, you got a lot going on. You got a lot of things going on. You've been found guilty to Rule 3 and Rule 4. I'm going to vote to revoke your parole today for me. Mr. Jones?
My vote is the same for the reasons given by Mr. Kelsey.
Ms. Wise?
Mr. Todd, I really was trying to see, I was trying to see if which way I look, you don't make good decisions. And that's very concerning. You are on parole until November of 2026. So you don't get to do what you want to do. You don't get to go where you want to go.
Yes, ma'am.
Authorization. So I'm just not willing to take a chance on you at the end of the day. So my vote is to revoke your supervision because of your guilty plea to the allegations.
All right, you have 3 votes to revoke. Your parole's been revoked today. It is 9:37 a.m. We're going to adjourn at St. John the Baptist. Thank you.
Broke my parole. 2 years. She gone. That's what I think.
I think you said there at the end that it's 2 years, which means maybe that he now has to serve 2 years, but I'm just taking a guess. We often don't know how much time they're backing. We once saw a revocation hearing where the guy was back in like 16 years. But thank you, Richard, is something that I think what his initial charge was, which is what he's serving, which is what he's revoked on. So Monday, September 12th, 2016, which was the time of this hearing was actually 2020. So this is his initial charge of 2016. See if I can get this in properly. They just have the strangest formatting. You would think, like, you see the letters here, but I can't even scroll in more. It's just the way it is. All right, it's just the way it is, guys. So I'll read it to you if you can't see it. 31-year-old. So on September 7th, a 31-year-old female complainant told deputies that Todd helped her pay to get a vehicle out of the repair shop. Later the same day, Joseph returned to her home and asked her to pay him back the money that he paid her to get the car out of the repair shop. She had not agreed to pay him back, and they began to argue. Joseph yelled at the victim to get in the car, and he drove them to the bank so she could get money to pay him. When the victim was in the bank, she called the sheriff's office for help. Before deputies arrived, Joseph drove off in the victim's car without her permission. Deputies obtained a court-approved arrest warrant for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. Now, on September 9th, so this is now 2 days later, a 23-year-old female complainant told deputies that she and her 1-year-old daughter were with Todd in his car. She said that Todd was her boyfriend of 2 years, that she and Todd Joseph began to argue. Joseph exited the car from the driver's seat, walked to the passenger door, grabbed her by her arms. He pulled her from the car to the ground. Mind you, she was 8 months pregnant with twins. So he takes his girlfriend who's pregnant with twins and throws her out of the car onto the ground. And then he flees. This is 2 days later. So they got an arrest warrant for him for domestic battery of a pregnant female and child endangerment. And he was booked on the 2 outstanding warrants. So my guess is that he served time for this and then went on, had his parole revoked. And I gotta tell you, it doesn't seem like anything had gotten better for him. Frankly, it's what they were saying about how he had gotten his how he was applying to go to Texas, and they have to do the paperwork, and instead of waiting for it to get processed, he just went. And then they had that revoked his parole, and they had to pay to transport him back just to have this hearing. And it's kind of like he just seems like, and then you have the whole mess. And Brandon Kelsey, I don't like him. I don't like him for parole hearings because he just has no like empathy for victims. It seems to me. He's also just he's like a massage therapist. I don't really know why the governor decided to elect him to be a parole board member, but I'll say that with the but. I think he's excellent for parole revocation hearings. He moves fast. He's kind of got a sense of humor and a way about him, which I actually think for revocation hearings, I think he fits the role quite well. It was kind of funny seeing him go back and forth with Todd, and I'm not quite sure really what was going on with him, but the bottom line is that he put himself in this situation. It's like, plus all the violence you hear about, and he's in there for violence, and it's kind of scary. But I'm surprised they even took such a long break thinking about it, but they made a decision which seemed to be an easy one. But love to hear your thoughts on that. And with that, I'll let you go.